Yet another billionaire, Eric Anderson, the chairman of Space Adventures, has already started space tourism.
And your advice, final word then?
Just do it. Don't let anything stop you.
It's amazing. You think it's so difficult, such a long trip, but it only takes a few minutes.
I'm getting really excited because I'm going to space.
Engine ignition.
Let's look at something that's happening right now. Sir Richard Branson plans to send people to space by the beginning of next year. Test flights are already happening. Sir Richard Branson is 95% of the way of getting space tourists to space.
Earthly ambition is just so 20th century, in case you haven't noticed. A new space race is well and truly underway, whether it's taking NASA astronauts to the International Space Station or giving intrepid, not to mention wealthy tourists a truly out-of-this-world experience. Growing numbers of companies are indeed looking to the heavens. I think in February you were saying it was going to be sometime this year. Where are you with that?
I'm still confident that we'll go to space before the end of this year.
He goes on to say that the main thing holding them back was the rocket engines. It took them a while to find an engine that satisfied them fully and that they could be completely 100% confident with. He didn't want to rush things and wanted to make sure things were 100% safe. He plans to finish testing by the end of this year, and he's on track to have the space service fully functional by early 2015.
Over the next few months we'll be doing a lot of test flights in the air, and I think that by the end of this year we will have gone to space, and then my son should go up in the early spring of next year.
Well, I think about 700 odd people have paid deposits for this. Are you having any pushback from them?
Almost none whatsoever. We're now up to nearly 800 people, and I think everyone's been very patient. I think they realise that it is rocket science, that they want to make sure that we don't hurry them up there. They want to come back. And that's exactly what the team are doing, and they've done a fantastic job. I'm confident that we are as good as they're now.
So the Expedition 31 crew getting their first look inside this brand new...
As the ISS crew berthed and unloaded the Dragon capsule, one question remained. Can the California-based SpaceX company make a profit by recovering and reusing spaceships and carrier rockets? So far, SpaceX has been 50% funded by NASA, which spends hundreds of millions of dollars stimulating the development of commercial orbital transport.
Private companies are going to take responsibility for getting NASA astronauts and others to the International Space Station and other low Earth orbit destinations, and that's a big deal.
For decades, NASA has relied on private companies to build vehicles and other tailor-made components for its space program. Now the White House plans to outsource all simple orbital tasks to the private sector. NASA will focus on researching into breakthroughs in space exploration, leaving commercial companies to design and operate their own spacecraft.
Hubble is one of the most phenomenal things we've ever done in space.
Buying the services of space transportation, rather than the vehicles themselves, we can continue to ensure rigorous safety standards are met, but we will also accelerate the pace of innovations as companies, from young startups to established leaders, compete to design and build and launch new means of carrying people and materials out of our